upon demand by any duly authorized officer shall be prima facie evidence that he has put such missing funds or property to personal use and benefit.
Okay. So nakalagay dito sa 8.3, you are a lawyer as well, Mr. Witness, apart from an auditor. Ano ang ibig sabihin dito ng prima facie evidence?
Ang ibig sabihin po ng prima facie evidence under 8.3 ay nagkaroon po ng presumption na ginamit yung funds for the personal use and benefit of the accountable officers.
So kung ang accountable officer at masasabi mo ba na ang Vice President at ang and concurrently Secretary of Education, masasabi mo ba na accountable officer ito?
Based on the joint circular po, yes po, kasi under the joint circular, it shall be the responsibilities of the head of agency to oversee the agency-wide use of the confidential fund and to ensure compliance with the requirements of the joint circular. And also, inattest po ni Vice President in her capacity as the Vice President of the Philippines and the Secretary of the DepEd, yung certification ng accountable officers na ginamit yung pondo for their confidential expenses.
Okay. Ngayon, ang confidential fund, sabi nasa mo, ang confidential fund ba ay public fund?
Yes, ma'am.
Yung post-audit mo naman, na sinabi mo ay irregular, may discrepancies. Ito ba ay, ang in-audit mo ay liquidation documents ng Vice President?
For the fourth quarter of 2022 until third quarter of 2023 po, yes, ma'am.
At sinabi mo, based on 8.3, na merong funds na hindi ma-account o walang dokumento na sinamit ang Vice President. Tama? At ang DepEd. Tama?
Pwedeng pa ulit po ng question.
At sinabi mo yesterday at ngayong araw na merong mga pondo na hindi naman confidential funds, ginamit sa confidential funds. Or sinabing ginamit sa confidential funds pero wala naman dokumento. Tama?
Objection, Your Honor. Misleading as to dun sa sinabi na wala.
Sustained, counsel. Kindly reform.
Okay. So you said here that if an accountable officer, pag hindi na-explain ng isang accountable officer ang paggamit ng public funds, kagaya ng confidential funds, meron tinatawag na prima facie evidence. Anong tawag doon? Presumption?
Presumption po.
Presumption ng ano?
Under 8.3 po, presumption na yung fund po ay na-convert into personal use or benefit.
Presumption na na-convert for personal use or benefit? Applicable dito sa sinabi mo.
Conclusion of law, Your Honor. Calls for conclusion.
Your Honor, that is...
Your Honor, all these matters are pending still.
Sustained.
Your Honor, please, ang tawag ko lang doon, hindi prima facie evidence. Kung akong tatanungin, scam ito.
Move to strike.
No
Your
further
Honor. Move to
questions.
strike. That is out of order, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor.
So stricken,
strike.
so stricken from the record. No further questions. Direct examination is completed. Counsel for Respondent Attorney Poa, we shall have your cross after we resume for a brief lunch break. We shall resume at 1:15 for our lunch break.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Trial is in recess.
Good afternoon, Mr. Senate President. Dear colleagues, biblical principle na kung anong ating itatanim, yan ang ating aanihin. I think it's an honor for all of us to see this measure pass today. Marami pang kailangan gawin, pero napakalaking step nito. If we look at history, Magna Carta simply states that even the king or the ruling class or yung pinaka-powerful are also subject to the law and not above the law. So by giving the barangay health workers the recognition that they have fundamental rights, it is saying that we recognize, regardless who is in power, regardless of the powers that be, human right nyo po ito. This is also a recognition that wala pong healthy na nation pagka hindi po healthy ang kanyang mamamayan. Together with our Senate President, Win Gatchalian, Senator Pia, a number of other senators, we have again and again emphasized that stunting or pagkabansot is a national security problem or a big problem for our country. Statistics show that almost 1/4 ng ating mga kababayan are in danger of falling into stunting. At ang problema po, pag naging permanent yung effects ng stunting, kahit anong scholarship mo, limited na po ang kanyang learning ability. Ganon din po pagka yung naapektuhan na yung kanyang health. Kahit anong ibuhos mo sa mga ospital, sa mga clinic, sa mga vitamins, sa PhilHealth, ay limited na rin po magagawa natin. And the antidote or the solution to stunting really has to do with the barangay health workers. Taguig is proud that lowest stunting incidents in Metro Manila, and to God's grace, much credit is given to the barangay nutrition scholars and the barangay health workers. Because sa isang tingin pa lang, pag nakita po or sa isang tanong o isang tingin, pag nakitang buntis, nandyan na yung programa para sa mga buntis. At pagka nanganak na, lalo pag tinitimbang ang mga bata, yung ibang indicators of malnutrition, magkakaroon ng maagang intervention. So, the barangay health workers are blessed to have a Senate that usually kasi ang tingin sa Senate masyadong mataas, so hindi bumababad or hindi bumababa. And even in the composition, for example, our former Senate President Soto was a vice mayor. I think Senator Pangilinan, who spoke earlier, was a councilor. Ako po, naging konsehal din ako nung nagsimula sa politika. Si Senator JV, who has been pushing not only this act but more than this act, was a mayor. Senator Win was also a mayor. The reality, Mr. President, is that many of the solutions to everyday problems now are from the local government. Maging barangay yan, maging city government, municipal government, or even the provincial government. We call them barangay health workers because they are health workers in the barangay. And they started out as volunteers, then they're trained by the municipality or city. But in a perfect world, they should really be national government employees getting full benefits and getting everything from training, equipment, di ba? Sabi ko nga minsan, pag binibiro ko yung mga barangay health workers, kahit rubber shoes man lang, kasi sa araw-araw na lang po, ng pagkakatok nila sa mga bahay, hinahabol sila ng aso. So kailangan may rubber shoes man lang para hindi naman sila mahabol nung aso. I remember during the LEDAC where Senator JV was pushing this, the President Marcos was in favor or is in favor, was in favor during that time, except that sabi niya, let's make sure na hindi unfunded yung bill. And Senator JV correctly stated na, sir, baka pwede natin tignan yung paggamit ng AIX kasi actually, marami sa AIX is already being used by municipalities that do not have enough money to support yung barangay health workers. So there's so much to be said, Mr. President, but let me just say this. One, we took a giant step today, but there is so much more that we can do to build a health system that we can all be proud of, that can really be relevant to sa bawat Pilipino. And kung sino man ang nasa grassroots talaga, yung primary healthcare or barangay health center, barangay nutrition volunteers, barangay health workers, they are as important as our surgeons, hospital administrators, engineers that build our hospital, medical technician. So it's about time that we look at the health system holistically. So I join my dear colleagues, especially the sponsors and the authors in not only voting for this bill, but to encourage this chamber to follow it up with the other bills that will actually bring us to a world-class health system. Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, Senate President Soto. Thank you.
Majority Leader.
Praise God for the opportunity na makausap kayong diretso, makamusta kayo. Praise God that we can come together to thank the Lord for the week. Alam kong maraming nahirapan po dahil nga ulan ng ulan. At isa ko napansin, baka sa umpisa pa lang makatulong tayo. Nabanggit na to ng MMDA at very good sa nabanggit nilang ito, but baka follow up din. And siguro ma-integrate na to ng DOTR at saka ng DPWH. Tandaan niyo po during the pandemic, especially nung sinabi dapat mas may biking lanes at mas friendly sa ating mga siklista. And si Ate Pia talagang pinaglalaban yung batas na yan at hindi lang yung batas, yung implementation na kapag gumawa ng kalye, hindi lang po meron na pedestrian but meron din bike lanes. Ang napansin po natin dahil duwagdag na talaga ng husto ang gumagamit ng motor, napakarami nating riders. So mapapansin nyo basta't bumuhos po yung ulan, whether yung driver mismo, yung pong rider ay sisilong sa ilalim ng tulay, o kaya kung yung po mga nagko-commute, lalo po kung hindi naka-raincoat, napakahirap po kasi papasok sila basang-basa. So hahanap talaga ng masisilungan. So napaka-importante sa lalong madaling panahon, kasama na sa ating planning yan, di ba? In the same manner na nung 80s halimbawa, kung pupunta ka halimbawa ng Baguio, plaplanuhin mo ng husto saan magsa-stop para mag-CR kasi during that time wala pang mga gasolinahan sa expressway na magaganda na very convenient, malinis, may tubig, may toilet paper, maganda kuryente ng mga CR, di ba? So in making our roads and travel safer and more comfortable, kailangan proactive talaga tayo. So yun ang aking konting contribution. Hindi original idea yan, dami na nagsabi. Kaya ako sinasabi ngayon po kasi isasubmit ang national budget. At saka sinasabi talaga na dapat hindi natin inuulit ang ating pagkakamali. So kung sobrang daming kalye at kailangan more trains, dapat mas maraming train. Kaya nga sinasabi natin sa Laguna Lake, na isang topic natin mamaya, hindi dapat lang yung lakeshore na highway na gustong gawin, dapat dyan train kasi mas efficient, mas economic, mas mura, tapos mas eco-friendly din. No? So we start out by thanking God, and I really thank God na I can go to you directly, I can talk to you about what's happening. Yung ganitong format kasi nakakabati ako sa inyo. Bianca, God save the Philippines. Yes po. Bianca, you're 100% tama. We should keep praying that the Lord transform
transforms our nation. We have to pray that God saves the Philippines, saves the Filipino, nandito man sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, save our OFWs, keep them safe. But tandaan mo, Bianca, di ba?